But it's time to see what Corey can do. And it's raining! It's raining! Are we going to have a similar situation to Division 4 yesterday? It is raining in qualifying, and these drivers need to get a lap in now. What lap time is this going to be for Koi? ARS and DRS enabled up to the line, 43.669. Jamie takes it with a 42.928. Malachi then puts himself into P2. Bath Destroyer into P3, 43.4. N Bozza, 43.0. Is anyone else behind them going to beat that lap time? The fact that no one the fact that no one's retired does give me the impression that it is lightening up, and it will maybe get better. But oh, as I say that, Failing has decided to retire. Malachi retiring. Yeah, I think this might be qualifying over already. How did it say? Yeah, Vaxi retiring, DRS disabled. Yeah, Brewdog is going to be P15 unless he can somehow get quicker than Bosworth, but I'm not too sure. N Bos are now retiring, and I think this is going to be the end of qualifying. We go down trackside as we go to 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix. And it's going to be lights out, and away we go. Jamie just get away nicely, but I think Bath Destroyer as well behind. I think they got the better start. Haas already into the wall, and a Aston Martin already falling down the order as Bath Destroyer trying to hold it down the inside of the Mercedes. Can't get that smooth stick, as we do see a McLaren trying to go side by side with Malachi, but has to back out. Is that N Bozza trying to go down the inside of Jamie, going into Eau Rouge and Radion, but no, they will have to stay behind. Any of the moves being made further down. N Bozza is catching, and he is in the slipstream, as he's going to go wheel to wheel with Jamie, who's going to be the best going into Lecom, and it's just going to be Jamie, but N Bozza holds it around the outside, has the inside for the next few corners. Jamie then back on the inside, but N Bozza holds it around the outside and gets into the lead, and now it's the 2 Red Bulls followed by a Ferrari who goes a bit deep. Is that going to allow Koi to go down the inside into Brussels? Yes, it is, but Malachi will hold it down the inside going into No Name. Will the Ferrari keep that position? They just about do so, but Koi is going to try and retake it going into Puon, holds it down the inside, bit of contact, and that is Koi half spinning, and that is another spin for the McLaren driver, and he started P6 and now finds himself in P14. Horrific start there for the McLaren driver. Going into the bus stop chicane though. Red Bull, or the Red Bull was getting closer. Oh, the 2 Ferraris there nearly colliding. I think they might have actually done so as Vaxi was ghosted. I think Millard had to take some evasive action there. Can HULKYBERG make a move on Oberwalf though as Jamie retakes the lead? No moves being made there, but we are going to see Foxus and Brewdog go side by side into turn 1, as I think Foxus has a nice line around the outside and will get the better traction. But I'll tell you what, Brewdog is still going to try and hold this round the outside, and to be fair to him, he does get the move done. Fair play. Oh, I think that's a Bath Destroyer who are having a spin there, and I think they've collected Mbozza as well. I think N Bozza and yeah, Bath Destroyer having a slight issue there, and I don't actually know what happened.
N Bozza's got end plate damage.
So there might have been a bit of contact. Is Failing there, goes around the outside of Bath Destroyer as well and gets that move stick. Is Brewdog going to try and make a move down the inside going into Brussels? Yes, he does. A lock up there from the Red Bull, and you can see that end plate damage. And Brewdog does indeed get that place stick. And Bosworth there gets the move on Temex. And Malachi also gets into the lead of the race, but they're still side by side into Lecom. Malachi, what a move around the outside. And I'll tell you what, fair play to him as he gets the move. Same with N Bozza and Bath Destroyer, whoever gets out on top on that one. Always Jamie goes into the pits very early on, already on lap 6. That's a very early pit stop from the Red Bull, don't you think?
Maybe he's seen enough on his tyres to say, I can't make these go any longer.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that promotes HULKYBERG into the position up into P4. 2 Ferraris now in a net P1 and, well, I say net P1, P2, not really. You know what I mean. Provisional P1 and P2. But it might be Millard going into P2. He's going to try his move around the outside of the Ferrari. Can he maybe get the move on Malachi as well? Malachi moves over. He's still going to be side by side with the Ferrari of Vaxi. Still side by side, holding it around the outside, going into Lecom. And through the right-hander, he makes a bit of contact. Vaxi has a half spin, and that might allow HULKYBERG to go around the outside. And HULKYBERG does indeed get into the podium positions. And for sure, he is just going to be staying in that position and potentially will get even higher after the pit stops. And that is Jamie there going down the main straight. He's actually going to be quite far in front of them, I think. I think it might even be like 2 seconds or something, maybe even 3. as Finley Millard comes out the pits. So let's see that gap, 1.2. Obviously, it's about to get a bit higher, I think. 2.7. Yeah, around about 3 seconds-ish. He could still do something here. But here we go. Millard already trying to pull to the outside to get the move stick, and he does. And Oberwalf follows him through. Let's ride on board with Oberwalf. Let's see if he will get the move for 2. But I don't think he's close enough to make the move on Millard. And Malachi drops down to P5. Yeah, good point as well, actually, yeah. And Bozza, though, is going to go down the inside. And Koi just waiting there. And I think Koi actually might get the double here. Gets past 1 and gets past 2. Koi up to P11. Oh, Zen Bozza gets a bit close there. Taps the rear of that McLaren, but Koi manages to stay in front. He's trying to make a move, and he is quick. Will he try and make a move going into turn 1 into La Source? Latest on the brakes, and he does. I didn't think he was going to. He was going to for a moment, but he spots that that space, and I tell you what, decent move for HULKYBERG. Up into P7 now. He's on 2% though. Will Bosmos be able to repass that as Millard actually gets up? Or they go side by side into Lecom, sorry. Still side by side into turn 9. And Malachi is able to get that move stick. Good move there. And Millard looks for it back down the inside, going to Brussels on the Ferrari. Very close racing between these two. But Malachi holds it down the inside. And he will remain in P2. Obviously, those two are going to be burning for position as well. As Malachi just hold it down the inside. Millard leaves the space. And HULKYBERG just doesn't have any reply for it. Millard back around the outside going into turn 9. That got very close, but just has to stay behind. HULKYBERG now trying to go around the inside, but cannot find that space.
It's not as powerful as overtake, but
it drains quite quick though.
Over the lap.
Oh, as HULKYBERG goes around the inside of Millard going into turn 1. I think Millard holds it though, but he doesn't.
No, Millard dropped back.
Yeah, and HULKYBERG gets into a podium position now. Will he try and get the move on to Malachi as well already? Millard is going to try and look for the repass. And he's basically very close. HULKYBERG though down the inside of Malachi into Lecom. They're still side by side. And I'll tell you what, HULKYBERG gets that move stick and he's now into P7. And now can he catch up to Jamie in clean air?
HULKYBERG lost
2 Alpines going side by side, sorry.
Straight.
Going into Lecom. And Foxes just holds on to that position. Is Malachi going to try and make a look on Millard going into the final corner? And he is going to try to send one down the inside going into the bus stop chicane. But I think he backs out, but in doing so, Oberwalf now gets an opportunity down the inside going into the left-hander. And I think even Boswis is going to get in on this as well. As the 2 RBs there going side by side into La Source. Boswis tries to hold it around the inside. Overwhelmed around the outside. Boswis gets through on his teammate. And I think it's going to be Boswis to try and get past Malachi on this final lap. Going up Eau Rouge and Radion right now. But I'll tell you what, I think Malachi has bolted. He's going to try and make a move on Millard. But how far ahead is Millard? About half a second. Is that going to be enough though? Vaxi might try and make a move as well. Around the outside, he's going to try it, but he just isn't close enough. And Koyi makes a move on Brewdog there in the background into Lecom. Very close there, but no moves being made. And oh, I think Temex hit Foxes a little bit there going into Lecom. There was a bit of contact, and when I switched there to that fight, Foxes was half sideways. He's going to try and fight it down the inside though, going into Brussels, and they are still wheel to wheel. Very close racing, but no contact on that occasion, and Temex stays in front. We are going to look at Jamie though, coming into the final couple of corners. He's controlled this race well, despite thinking that he might have been outplayed by HULKYBERG, but HULKYBERG not able to make the move. Jamie has a slight snap out of the final corner, but it doesn't matter. Jamie comes across the line to win the Belgian Grand Prix. HULKYBERG tried it his best, but only good enough for P2. Millard will take P3 there for the Papaya outfits. And the final place on the podium, Malachi, the championship leader, in P4. Boswis finishes P5 with Oberwalf in P6. Good points there for VCarb. Vaxi will take home P7 with Koi in P8. Brewdog finishes in a good P9 there. and failing there, finishes in P10, and Bozza in P11 and Bat Destroyer. Very unfortunate races for them with that contact so early on. Foxus will take P13, and Temex is not able to find the accelerator, and he finally finds the accelerator across the line and will take P14 there. And it's a long wait to see the Haas cross the line in P15.